Welcome back to CIA Declassified. We've stepped out of the high-tech invisibility of Project Will-O-Wisp and into the dense, humid jungles of Southeast Asia. By 1967, the Vietnam War was no longer just about soldiers in the field. It was a war of influence, shadow governments, and secret supporters. To win, the agency realized they didn't need to just kill the enemy. They had to pull out the roots of their entire social structure. This was the most controversial counterinsurgency program in American history. This was Project Phoenix. To break the Viet Cong, the agency built a massive database of names and then set out to cross them off. Project Phoenix was a collaboration between the CIA and South Vietnamese security forces designed to identify and neutralize, assassinate, the civilian infrastructure supporting the National Liberation Front. A quote from a declassified 1971 congressional testimony by William Colby. The Phoenix program was not a hit program. It was a program to identify the leaders of the enemy's political structure. Neutralization meant capture, defection, or, as a last resort, death. End quote. The agency established the intelligence centers in nearly every province of South Vietnam, where data from informants was cross-referenced to create the infamous Black List. A quote from the Phoenix Operational Guidelines. The focus must remain on the administrative cadre. If we remove the tax collectors and the recruiters, the guerrilla fighters will starve. End quote. The archives reveal the death counts, confirming that by 1972, the program had neutralized over 80,000 individuals, with more than 26,000 of those being permanent fatalities. The agency utilized census teams to map out every household in targeted villages, using the red dot system to mark houses suspected of harboring Viet Cong sympathizers. A quote from a former Phoenix advisor: "We were under immense pressure to hit quotas every month. The Langley report needed more names, more captures, more results. The line between a combatant and a civilian blurred very quickly." End quote. The declassified logs indicate that Project Phoenix utilized interrogation centers where scientific interrogation was practiced to extract the names of high-ranking cadre members. Technological breakthroughs included the CARD Index, a proto-computerized database that allowed the CIA to track the movement of over 100,000 individuals across the war zone. The archives confirm that the CIA utilized bounty payments, offering significant cash rewards to villagers who turned in blacklist members, leading to widespread local corruption. In the declassified records, it is confirmed that Sky Screams, low-flying aircraft equipped with massive speakers, broadcast recordings of ghost voices to terrify villagers into revealing the locations of hidden cadre members. A quote from a declassified 1969 CIA field evaluation. The efficiency of the provincial units has increased twofold since the implementation of the centralized dossier system, though the quality of raw intelligence remains inconsistent. End quote. Operational breakthroughs included the flash audit, where agency teams would seal a village at dawn and use early portable fingerprinting kits to identify individuals against their master database in under 4 hours. The files revealed the use of chemical tracers, colorless dyes added to village wells that would only show up under ultraviolet light, allowing the agency to track which individuals had visited specific rebel-controlled water sources. Internal memos show the CIA developed microtransmitters disguised as standard Vietnamese currency, which were given to informants to track the flow of money back to high-level Viet Cong administrators. While the numbers in Vietnam are staggering, the most significant redactions in the release appear in the external deployment files and the domestic intelligence cross-check. In fact, the absolute heaviest redactions, coming in at nearly 300 pages, is regarding the 1970 stateside liaison logs. This suggests that Phoenix didn't stay in the jungle. Why are records of the program's activities in the United States still a state secret? Get ready for the theory of the Phoenix Purge. Speculation suggests Project Phoenix was used to neutralize American politicians who opposed the war. The theory claims the redactions hide a stateside target list from 1970, alleging the agency used the same blacklist methodology to identify and socially neutralize anti-war leaders in Washington, with the black bars masking the names of senators who retired under mysterious circumstances. What if the numbers were just the beginning? A dark rumor suggests that the census used Project Phoenix to test social engineering through fear. The theory claims the redactions in the village compliance reports hide the results of a secret study on how much neutralization is required to break the collective will of a population, with the black bars masking the fear ratio formulas meant for future domestic use. Hidden behind the ink of the civil disorder section, some claim the CIA deployed agitators at U.S. colleges who were actually trained Phoenix interrogators. The redactions supposedly hide the Kent State connection logs. Looking at the blacked out demographic analysis, theorists argue the CIA used Phoenix tactics to neutralize specific voter blocks in the 1972 election, with the redactions hiding the ballot suppression data. The shadow vet theory posits that the redactions in the veteran debriefing section hide the fact that Phoenix advisors were prohibited from ever speaking about body disposal methods, with the black bars masking the location of mass graves. Gossip in the dark web archives whisper that the heaviest redactions in the interrogation methodology section aren't about physical torture, but instead about electronic hypnosis used to turn captured people into permanent agency puppets. Looking at their redacted fiscal expenditure logs, some believe the CIA used vending machines in Vietnam to dispense poisoned cigarettes to targets on the blacklist, and the black bars hide the vendor list. In the Montagnard operations, Montagnard files, in the Montagnard operations files, massive redactions cover the tribal erasure trials. Theory suggests the agency wiped out entire mountain tribes to test total neutralization, and the black ink hides the genocide efficiency reports. The invisible inmate theory argues that the redactions in the prison system section prove the CIA moved thousands of Phoenix targets to black sites under the ocean, with the black bars masking the subaquatic blueprints. Lastly, some whisper that the redactions hide the fact that the Phoenix program is still active today under the name Sentinel, and the black bars mask the remote neutralization codes for the next global security grid. Was Project Phoenix a success? Tactically, it was a brutal success. The program successfully decimated the Viet Cong infrastructure, with enemy leaders later admitting that Phoenix was the one program they truly feared. Strategically, it was a moral and political catastrophe. The body count became a symbol of the war's excess, turning the American public against the agency and leading to the historic Church Committee investigations. Project Phoenix proved that you can kill an infrastructure, but you might lose your soul in the process. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs go, the body count changed the way the agency tracks its enemies, such as database centralization, the creation of the personal tracking system, the ancestor of modern biometric databases. Counterinsurgency theory, the formalization of infrastructure targeting, shifting focus from soldiers to support systems. Interagency cooperation, the first large-scale joint command between military, intelligence, and local police forces. And lastly, standardized interrogation, the development of the interrogation manual, which set the baseline for agency activities for decades to come. Project Phoenix shows us that when the agency starts making lists, nobody is ever truly safe. As the files reveal, some fires never stop burning. Thanks for listening, and join us next time as we examine Operation Cactus. In the battle to keep the Cold War away from the oil, the agency backed the Shah of Iran. Operation Cactus was the secret support for the internal security force known as SAVAK. We'll uncover the interrogators. We'll look at the palace wiretaps, the scientific interrogation training, and the moment the agency realized that the order they created was about to explode into revolution. Join us next time for The Desert Cell. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.